Welcome to the Engineering Emotions and Energy Podcast. I'm your host, Justin Wink. One door closes and another one opens. You might have heard that saying before, maybe not. Either way, there's a good chance you're hearing that and thinking, bullshit. One door closes and that's one less place for me to go. Fuck that. Let me get my toe and keep that thing from slamming shut so that I can get back in there just in case that other door never opens up. What I found is that you gotta just let that door close completely, then the other door opens. It's not, one door, you start to get an indication that it might be about to go shut, and then multiple doors swing wide open. It's one door closes, complete sentence, action complete, and another one opens. And today's episode is all about that and how it's been showing up in my life, so that you can learn how you can let this show up in your life and maybe not get so freaked out when maybe it seems like something is no longer working for you in your life. Because that's been a theme on some of the recent podcasts, is just because it used to work doesn't mean it still works or will work. Because there's another good saying that is, what got you here won't get you there. Right? Just because the car got me to the airport doesn't mean the car is going to get me from San Francisco International to Japan or to Bali, right? We're gonna require a different vehicle, so you can't take the car with you. Gotta get out of the car and get onto the airplane. And for me, this showed up a couple weeks ago in the form of computer problems, which, as you know, I started doing computer repair, basically when I was 15 years old, and then, got degrees in electrical engineering, and then, working at tech companies where often my job is to, debug, highly advanced hardware, from various levels. So there's often been I gotta figure it out. Like this is who I am. And so when I started having issues with my laptop that I use to record, these podcasts and, record my meditations, do the editing and stuff like that, I was like, I gotta figure this out. So I've got, this really amazing podcast mic that I'm using right now where I think I sound super duper the most amazingness possible. And I really like great audio quality when I'm listening to something, and I want you to have great audio quality when you're listening to this podcast. So when it didn't work, I'm like, all right, I got to make it happen. So I'm calling tech support, and I don't know what, I'm not going to name the company, the spelling, it's close to hell. But it's a letter off from hell. So, I'm on tech support with Hell Computers. And I don't know what they do to these poor people on the phone. They strip the ability for them to have a human conversation completely away from them. There was one where the woman's dog started barking, and I was like, and she's like, "Oh, sir, I am so sorry for the interruption." I was like, "Oh, that's totally okay. Like, dogs are fun that way. They're always, bringing some life and excitement." And usually a human go like, "Oh, thank you. Yeah, they are just, a treat or so sweet." Something about the dog being part of their life, but it was just repeat what the script says. "Oh, I apologize, sir, for the interruption. Now can we get back to your issue?" And so my issue was with this microphone not working. It would plug in and completely kill the entire audio subsystem. I don't want to get into the technical nitty gritty. Point is, I couldn't use the computer the way I wanted to do this podcast, to create my meditations. And I was like, I got to fix it, because that's like, this computer's not even a year old. And I had this story in my head that, I have to use a computer for at least 2 years before I could ever consider getting something different. And it was just getting more and more frustrating. And eventually they were like, "Well, sir, we're going to have to need to send a technician to your home to replace the internal microphone." And I'm like, I don't know how the internal microphone affects me plugging in an external microphone, so that doesn't make sense. And then the fact that I effectively didn't really have a permanent place where I was staying, because I have my house, but I don't actually live there. And I've been living at various places, and I was going to be, staying at different locations at different times, and wasn't sure, because again, they kind of operate like old school cable, like, we'll get to you between the hours of, 2 and 5 p.m. type of stuff. And it's just like, that's not going to work when maybe I'm, having to change from one hotel to another Airbnb or to a friend's place. And so that kind of sucked. I'm like, I don't even have like a permanent. It's like, don't you have a place where I can go? And they were like, oh no, all we can do is either send someone to you, or we can send a box and you can mail it in. And then I realized it hit me. I'm like, wait a minute. The next week, I'm going to be going to the nexus of Apple, the Bay Area, where there's Apple stores up the ass, out the ass, all the Apple everything. And I know that they have superb customer support, and they have, in-person support and all these things. And I was like, is the reason that I'm having my computer issues today, this week, is because next week I'm going to be somewhere where I could go pick up a brand, go see it, play with it, and then purchase a brand new Apple Macbook that's just going to do it. And it's like, well, what would that be like, that I get a brand new computer in less than a year from buying another brand new computer? Like, am I worthy of that? And I was like, yeah, I am. I'm going to decide that old story sucks, does not serve me. And that the new story is that I have tools that do what I need them to do in my life. And if they don't, I have ways to get them quickly resolved with great expert help, or I can trade it in, or I can swap it or get it fixed without too much hassle on my part. I'm like, that's what I want to live by. And I want to get a really good deal. So I even reached out to a great, old coworker friend who was able to give me some assistance on getting a good discount. So, got a good price. I was able to go try it out in person and figure out which one was for me, then get the order in, and then pick it up when I was ready to pick it up. And then what's even better is, like, I had some issues with getting the data from my old computer to this new one, because it's like, this is episode 75. I got 74 previous episodes. I've got a number of meditations I've recorded, a lot of great stuff. I'm like, I don't want to lose that. And then there's all the pictures from, past 15 years of taking digital photography. So I want to bring over the good stuff, let go of the bad. So I was having some issues getting that over. So instead of just like, I'm just going to, Google this and I'm going to make sure that I do it on my own, I'm like, let's take advantage of this new lovely Apple system and call them up. And, they're so friendly, so helpful that, they made it easier. Like, it's like, could I have figured out? Yeah. But how much longer would it have taken me? Probably would have taken me 4 times the amount of time to get it done. And it was more fun, faster and more fun working with these great people on the other side of the phone. And then even they offered, a little setup meeting where they showed me how to, use the photo apps, the movie app, the, GarageBand audio editing. So like, I am like pretty much up to speed, even though it's been like way over 5 years since I ever used a Mac computer. And you're like, stop. This is not an ad for them. Like, this is an ad for get something that makes you happy, makes you feel good, and is delighted, and let go of the story. So it could be, a Windows computer. It could be a Linux computer. It could be no computer, because you can get away with no computer now. It's totally possible. There's Chromebooks, there's, iPads, there's Samsung tablets, there's all these things. Point is, if what you're doing doesn't work, slam the door on that motherfucker and find something that works for you. Because once you let go of that, then you can open up to the world of infinite possibilities, which could be something completely different from what you're used to. And there's going to be that moment of like, oh my gosh, I don't know what's coming. And you just got to keep moving. You got to let go. You got to let that door close, and you got to move forward. Because cool stuff, so now I've got a lot of great things coming up, and I feel like it's really closely associated with the new computer, because I have a tool that I just plug this mic in and it's like off to the races. And so I've started a new weekly little meditation offering. I call it the, what do I call it? I call it the Tuesday 20 because it's 20 minutes of mindfulness exercises every Tuesday, started at 12:05 p.m. Pacific time, so that's going to be, if you're on the East Coast, it's going to be 3:05 p.m., 20 minutes. So by 12:25, you're, free, you do a little bathroom break, have a little lunch break, whatever. So, 20 minutes, plenty of time to get a couple of mindfulness exercises because the goal is to leave you feeling relaxed and energized, ready to, finish your week strong, right? That's the goal. And then other cool thing I got going on is I'm going to be a published author pretty soon. I contributed a chapter to a book called Activate Your Life. It's the 3rd volume of this. So I got a chapter of that. It's going to be released next week. I'm recording this on October 19th. So I believe Monday, October 25th, there's going to be an event. So look for that. I'm going to have a link in the show notes, and it'll be, if you're following me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, I'll make sure you know about it then. So 7:20 a.m. Pacific time Monday. So maybe a little early here on the Pacific Coast, but for those of you, Mountain, Central, Eastern, it's going to be, join in for mid-morning coffee. And I'm told that there's going to be a way for you to actually get that book absolutely free. But it'll be very time limited. So do pay attention. Because it'd really be great, for you to check out, what I've contributed, and then, all the other offers from some really phenomenal, amazing coaches. That's all about, helping you live your best life. Because when you're living your best life, you're in a better position to help all the people you love and care for live their best life too. And you're like, oh, but Justin, I have nobody in my life. It also sets you up to bring those people into your life. And I've been bringing a lot of great people into my life with the help of other people that have already been in my life. That's the thing, is like, once it gets moving, a lot of good stuff happens. So I've been loving my time in the Bay Area, just spending time with some phenomenal individuals, enjoying some great weather, which I'm told is abnormal. To me, though, I feel like when I go somewhere, I usually get really great weather. May or may not be true, but I'm finding it to be true for me. And it's been working out really well. So I'm looking forward to spending a little bit more time here. I've like to announce I have found a more permanent place where I will be living, located, in Folsom. It's a phenomenal space with a great person. So, really grateful that that's working out. It's going to be a really, nice, uplifting environment. So, and I'm kind of, now that's I'm ready to, continue this door shutting process. Looking into completely letting go of the house I own, go a little beyond by just not living there, but not being tied to it in more ways. We'll see how that goes, because again, not all of the stuff has to be, really slam bam over in an instant. There can be a process to some of these doors closing depending on what it is. The point is, don't drag it on more than maybe what's appropriate or necessary for you to allow it to complete and to close, because all you're doing is it's just more pain, because that energy to keep that old door open, it's going to wear on you. It's going to take it out of you. And then you're missing out on that opportunity of what's coming next. You're missing out on that opportunity of, something that's truly going to bring value to your life, a connection that's going to bring so much love and heartfelt joy to your life. You're going to miss out on that, opportunity to share your gifts because you're holding on to that old thing. So what's something that maybe you've been holding on to that's not been working? Let me know. Either send an email, podcast@justinwink.com, or find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. I'm out there and would love for you to, join me for the Tuesday 20 of mindfulness. If you don't make it, my goal is to make sure the recording is available for like a week so that you can try that out. And that's all I got for today.